everyone, welcome to Confidently Be You. My name is Jennifer Shlomovich, and today we're going to talk about the power of reframing. So my inspiration for this week's topic was inspired by something that happened to me over the weekend. I had taken a shower and was cleaning the drain afterwards, and I ended up gashing my finger on something sharp, which I later discovered was from a soap dish that apparently had fallen I guess the day or two before, and I guess a small chip from underneath the soap dish, small little jagged piece, somehow got to the drain and was like very hard to see. So anyway, I cut my finger and I had plans for Sunday. I had like all these things I was planning to do Sunday morning before going out, and I had to go take myself to urgent care instead, and ended up getting 5 stitches in my finger and then having to get a prescription for antibiotics. And not only that, it's my right pointy finger, which means I have to slow down. I can't do things the way I would normally do them from all of it. So I had all these chores and things that I was planning to do on Sunday morning before going out, and I had to set that aside and decided to still go out and have a fun day walking around with my husband. So I've been embracing the situation the best I can and trying to just be patient with myself and be patient with the situation, because it's like you want to do things and you're used to doing things a certain way, and I've had to be mindful, but it's helped me take a step back. I realize before this had happened, I was feeling really stressed out. I had a lot of pressure on myself about things that I've been working on for my business, as well as all these other things that I have going on at home all the time. And so this really, I guess it was the universe's way of saying, Jen, you need to slow down and stop overwhelming yourself and just take things step by step. And so that's what I've done. I've just been kind to myself and refocused on some things, reprioritized some things in my life, and the things that I need to do, I've been doing this week. I've been resting a little bit more just to give myself more of a break. And so, yeah, this whole thing happened, and it made me take a step back and just kind of slow down. I realized I needed to do that, and it made me just think about the topic of reframing. I've heard some podcasts recently, and that theme has popped up for me before. So I really wanted to talk about when crappy things happen or things don't go the way we planned, how our mindset can really impact that situation for us. And so, yeah, I just really wanted to take a moment to talk about that. Reframing is a powerful technique that you can do where you take a crappy situation or a stressful situation and turn it into an empowering situation. So instead of feeling, oh, why is this happening to me? And feeling like a victim to something, it's the ability to turn that around and be like, how can I grow from this? What is the opportunity from this situation? And when you look at something from that mindset versus the why me mindset, it can really do a lot to shift your energy and shift your focus and pull you out of what can feel like a really daunting slump when you're feeling stuck with something. For example, if, being in a job that is just you're not happy with, when you can look at what are the opportunities, what are the benefits from that job? What things am I learning from this job? How can this job benefit me at a future job? So when you think about all of the things that you're gaining from that experience, even though that's not where you want to be in the moment, there are all kinds of gems that can help you with where you want to go in the future. The same thing also applies to relationships. Being in a relationship and making decisions in a relationship, and they say hindsight is 20/20, but then you look back and you're like, wow, I learned a lot from that. And if I didn't have those experiences, I wouldn't be where I am now or have the wisdom that I gained because I went through that. As a business owner for almost 5 years now, looking back, there's a lot of things that I could say, and I have said to myself, wow, I could have done that a lot better. Things that I've spent money on and invested in that I could have saved money with. But I didn't know at the time. And reframing the situation has helped me a lot in just embracing my journey of learning and growth. So when I look back at my business decisions early on, I realized I had to learn what didn't work well for me so that I could learn what does work well for me. And we don't know what's right for us until we're experiencing things. The same thing goes with relationships. When you're dating people, you might have a general idea of, the type of people you want to date. But after you're in a relationship and you're dating, you start realizing, there's more things that you're either looking for or certain things that maybe you didn't think were a big deal at the time that you're like, you know what, that doesn't work for me. So when we experience things, they're not mistakes. They're just things that are helping, they're experiences that are helping us evolve and grow. As the saying goes, hindsight is 20/20. And that's true. When we're, think about a time where there was something you were stressed out about or you felt really stuck about or you couldn't understand why you were going through a situation. And then down the line, you look back and you realize that was something that was actually the seeds or a starting point for something else amazing or something really great that worked out in your life. So that wouldn't have happened unless you experienced those things. So by looking at all these different situations, it can empower you when you find the opportunities in these things. There is a side note I do want to make about reframing where it can actually be harmful instead of helpful. And that's when it comes to reframing someone's behavior and justifying their actions. If there's red flags about somebody, if something's not sitting right and there feels like there's something wrong, but you're not sure what it is about a person or a situation, then it's important to check in with your gut. Our intuition is very important to listen to. And when we get those little nudges, those intuitive nudges, that's an important signal to check in with your feelings. Why am I feeling this way about this person? What about their behavior? Or any other type of situation that you're experiencing, something doesn't feel right. That's when it's important to pause and really check in with what you're feeling. You don't want to justify someone's poor behavior or ignore red flags about someone or a situation and then have worse issues to deal with later on. So it's really important to really check in with yourself when it comes to certain things that don't feel right. Something feels wrong, there's a red flag. That's when you don't want to reframe. Back in my people-pleasing days, I used to do toxic reframing where I would blame myself for not being good enough or doing something wrong, for upsetting others and letting them down and feeling like I deserved to be mistreated. And so that is an example of toxic reframing. You don't want to justify the actions of somebody else who's mistreating you. And if something feels wrong, but you're not quite sure what it is, that's an indicator that there's something that requires you to do more of an investigation on your feelings and why you're feeling that way. So that's an example of how reframing can not necessarily be a good tool to use. My experiences with toxic reframing have taught me a lot, and those were lessons that have allowed me to evolve and grow and now help other people in their journey in confidently being themselves. It's very important to be kind to yourself and not beat yourself up over past decisions you have made. We make decisions based on who we are at the time. One of my favorite sayings is there's a reason for every season. And yeah, there's a reason we made decisions at one point. And as we get older and we have more experiences, we make decisions differently as we evolve and grow. And so it's really, reframing can be very helpful when looking back at past situations where you're feeling upset with yourself for decisions you made. But it's important. Be kind to yourself. You made a decision based on who you were at the time and how you saw things. And now you are learning and growing and evolving, and you're somebody else. And we're always on that journey and that process with ourselves. So reframing can be especially very helpful when looking back at past situations, because without those situations, we wouldn't be where we are today. And because we had those experiences, we can make new decisions for ourselves, and we can learn from our mistakes and use those lessons as ways to help other people. I love implementing journal questions in a lot of my videos because I find journaling a very helpful and powerful tool. It has certainly been a lifesaver for me for many years. And so today, the question I want to leave you is, what are some things in your life that you can reframe that will help you feel more empowered? I want to thank you for joining me today. And if you would like to sample a coaching session, I'll leave the link below for my website where you can schedule a clarity call. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now.